So a deal for a Dodo that was extinct a couple of weeks ago looks like it might be coming out of extinction. Welcome to your Forest transfer news. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. Coming up, we'll talk to you about Dodo. We've also got an update on a player from Barcelona who's being linked with Forest. The transfer market is starting to heat up and we're keeping you posted, so make sure you like, make sure you're subscribed, have your notifications on as well. Check out OK Jerseys where you can get your shirts for £15 using code FFTV. 15 gets you 15% more off. Alrighty then, let's get into the news. So Dodo, who we spoke to probably back in July about, where Forest were interested and linked, probably around the time that Glasner was being appointed. He's in his final year of his contract at Fiorentina and is not looking like he's going to sign a new deal. Therefore, Fiorentina are probably looking to cash in on him. In fact, reports coming out as saying they're more than happy, not more than happy, but they're willing to let him go currently. He would be interested in a move to Forest. He's 27 years old. He'll be 28 in November. He has a lot of good attributes that would work for Forest. Some that do worry me a little. We'll get into that in just a second. And the fee being banded around now is about £10 million, so somewhere around the 14-15 euro mark. So this would be a very cheap deal to do. And it's one that Forest have been scouting for him because he's that right back, the right wing back position that he can play. What are his strong traits? He's lightning fast. He's very good at progressing the ball forward, and he's a real good crosser of the ball. All those are positives for me. The thing that worries me about him, he says his height. He's like 5'5", man. The guy is not very good aerially and can get caught up too high up the pitch. So defensively can leave holes and gaps and everything else. However, that's the kind of style of football that we want to see, or Glasner wants to see at Forest, where you are taking risks, you are moving the ball forward, and if you leave a massive gap, then one of the three centre-backs should be able to shuffle like a Diamande comes across and what have you. Now, is he better than Ola Aina? That to me should be the benchmark question. I think yes in some aspects, no in the other. And what I think about it with Ola, I know we worry about his stamina and everything else in the Glasner formation. I still think, because I love him, I still think he's got a massive role to play in this. So if you're able to get a Dodo in there, you got an Ola Aina in there, this adds strength and depth into those positions. Now, there are some people going really far on this one, saying a deal will be reached by today. I don't know how true that is. I don't think so. I think this is still maybe in a bit of a negotiation stage, but Forest do need to accelerate their deals. We're literally playing our first game in a couple of days' time against Leeds, and we've still got holes that we need to fill. We need this right wing back. We need a central midfielder. We need a striker, at the very least, in my opinion. And all this should have been done a long time ago. So am I for Dodo? Yeah, I am. I think he's got a lot of great attributes, especially in the attacking third. But we will need to be careful defensively. But that should be fine because of the centre-backs we have who can cover that position. So it should be relatively easy to do this deal if Forest really do want to go after him. Now, who's this coming from? This is coming from Romano's mate, Matteo Moretto. He says, where are we? In their latest video, watch out for Dodo's future. Fiorentina are ready to let him go. Forest are pressing for the player. So, and I think the sourcing on this is very good because we already know from July, as I mentioned earlier, that this is a player that Forest do want to get. So I'll keep you posted on it. Could it be done overnight? I don't know if it'll be that quick. I'd love it to be done that quick, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, let's move on into the second story, which is on a Barca player, Casadó. And this guy is on the list to leave Barcelona. They've actually transfer listed him. Why? Because they need to make spaces for their new signings. Barca do this weird thing where they buy about 1,000 players, and then when it comes to registering them, they're like, oh crap, we haven't got the money to register them, or the wages. They have to get like approval and things from the league for the registration. Now, they've transfer listed him. Hansi Flick has actually stopped him from going on any pre-season matches at the risk of getting him injured. That's how keen they are to sell him. There's been a lot of interest in him from the Saudi League. I think United were linked to him earlier in the summer, and a few other Premier League and European clubs. And Barca aren't asking too much for him. They're looking for about 30 million euros, so about 25 million pounds, something along those marks. Now, who is he? Where does he play? Is he good enough? He's a defensive midfielder, I would say, like a CM, CDM kind of role. He's very, very good at passing the ball, as you would expect from anyone playing for Barcelona. Where for me he lacks a lot is physicality. I think he's very, very weak. He's just not strong enough physically. Is he like elite level? Are we looking at the next Sergio Busquets or anything like that? No, we're not. But he just has a very good eye for a pass. He can link the play. He can tackle well as well. Now, it's not going to be one that's expensive to do, but it depends whether or not Casadó wants to join Forest from Barcelona. I think with him, it's been made quite clear that his services are no longer required at Barca. If he wants to continue playing football, he's going to have to move on. And the other thing I'd say as well is he's not going to provide us any goals, right? That's not his role. That's not his position. That's not in his artillery either. So this might be someone that you would need who would be our holder in the two in the middle in the Glasner formation. And then the second one is the one who gets released forward. Now, I still don't think we have that player who can release and go forward as that box-to-box player. We still need, like, I don't know, a Kamara or a Thuram or something like that, or maybe even a Fofana, who we've been linked to. I like Casadó, but I just don't know if we do actually need him, because we've got Schlager who can do that role. You've got Sangare who can do that role. Dominguez, to a certain extent, can do that role. Yates is there if we need it. There's already 4 or 5 similar profile players to him. Okay, their passing isn't going to be as good as his, I grant you that. But in terms of the overall profile, I don't see too much of a distinction. Would it be good to get a player in from Barca, do the whole food chain thing? Of course it would. But if I look at it from a profiling perspective, yes, I would like him at Forest because it gives us more strength and depth. But I still don't think we've got that player that's going to break forward, that's going to go box to box, that's going to box crash in, nick a few 5-6 goals this season, coming in late, that kind of player. This isn't Casadó's kind of repertoire or his forte in doing that. So yeah, he's a good player, very good player, excellent passer of the ball. But is he the right profile? But if Glasner wants him, then who am I to say no? And it's not expensive. 25 mil roughly, if you convert the euros, easy deal to get done. He is being linked to Forest, and the links on this one are getting stronger. Look, I'm expecting a busy 2 weeks now with Forest. I think they've kind of narrowed down the shortlist. They figured out exactly what they want. I think what you've seen over the last couple of weeks is that Glasner has been looking at the squad in detail, dissecting the strengths and the weaknesses of each player, to thinking about who's going to be a squad player, who's a first team, who's, needs to be loaned out and everything. And now you're going to see a lot of movement over these next 2 weeks, which in itself is annoying because I still think this could have been done slightly earlier. Get everyone in before the Leeds game, man. Every point counts. And we got a tough start. Leeds, Liverpool, Spurs, Villa. That's not the easiest set of fixtures to begin the Premier League with. So get your thoughts in on Dodo. Would you take him? And Casadó as well. What are your thoughts on them? Do you think they strengthen the squad or not? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you check out OK Jerseys. And before you do that, make sure you've liked and subscribed. And we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.